to welcome back the lovely and talented Ana Navarro. She's here today. I miss you when you're not here. I do. I miss you.
Well, I miss you too, but you know, there's been safaris, there's been hurricanes, swimming with sharks. I mean, there's been a lot of things happening.
I know. As a matter of fact, seriously though, our thoughts are with everyone impacted by the flooding in Texas right now. It's a terrible thing. Somebody died already. Yeah. All right. So now, this other scandal that's going on, which we started to talk about yesterday, but it's continuing. The whistleblower scandal is getting juicier and juicier. The latest reports claim that the complaint made to intelligence officials involved Trump trying to get the Ukraine government, some speculate it was to get dirt on Joe Biden and his son Hunter. He's the one that was in some kind of a thing, I don't know what it was, some scandal with a business thing, you're right, to help his 2020 election. This is what we think Trump is up to. Trump's consigliere, the fabulous Rudy Giuliani, was on CNN last night, and Chris Cuomo asked him if he did any digging around. Watch.
Did you ask the Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden?
No, actually, I didn't. I asked the Ukraine to investigate the allegations that there was interference in the election of 2016 by the Ukrainians for the benefit of Hillary Clinton, for which there already is a court finding.
You never asked anything about Hunter Biden. You never asked anything about Joe Biden.
The only thing I asked about Joe Biden is to get to the bottom of how it was that Lutsenko, who was appointed, dismissed the case against Antak.
So you did ask Ukraine to look into Joe Biden?
Of course I did.
You just said you didn't.
No, I didn't ask him to look into Joe Biden. I asked him to look into the allegations that related to my client.
Rudy, compose yourself so you can get your lies straight, okay? So, is everything cleared up now from that?
No.
All right. What do you think, Anna?
What do I think? Look, I think it's very reminiscent to what we already know happened in 2016, where somebody reached out and said, I've got dirt on Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
I also think it tells you that they're afraid of Joe Biden.
Yes.
And how are we going to get him off? And how are we going to knock him out using whatever it takes? But also, you know what? Do you think maybe Donald Trump could try to run a campaign and win a campaign without relying on help from a foreign government?
No, he knows he can't. Yeah. He knows he can't. And that's proven already.
And as far as Rudy, look, I know it's not ethical, right, for non-medical professionals to say that he is nuts. But he looked nuts, and he acts nuts.
Well, you know, maybe he's thrown in there to throw off the whole thing. You know, every time he pops up, they start talking about Rudy instead of Trump.
Yeah, but he actually traveled to the Ukraine.
Rudy, I think he was on the phone with the Ukraine.
Or he was on the phone with the Ukraine.
That was Trump who was on the phone with the
But Rudy actually went to the Ukraine? That's
I
what
thought
heard.
maybe I'm wrong, but it's not like he wasn't involved.
He was involved.
Yes, he did. He traveled to the Ukraine.
Okay.
So it's not just a distraction. This is sort of an actuality, right? I've got to tell you, I'm not surprised that if true, that Trump would have promised aid to the Ukraine in return for dirt on a political opponent.
Right.
If true. But it is illegal, I would think, unethical, I would think, but it is something that we saw before, as you alluded to, with the Mueller report. If you look at page 93 of the Mueller report and 110 of the Mueller report, I hope everybody read it. That was one of my recommendations for ladies who get lit. If you look at those pages, it does talk about that Trump Tower meeting. It does talk about George Papadopoulos, you know, hearing about dirt on Hillary Clinton, and the Trump campaign wanted that dirt. Trump Jr. wanted that dirt. They wanted it really badly. And the reason that I have often said that impeachment is important here is because that's a congressional power. It's a constitutional duty of Congress to oversee this president and tell him that doing this kind of thing is improper.
But if this is proven to be true, that he did, in fact, try to get the Ukraine to get dirt on Biden.
Yes.
Do you think that Pelosi will say impeach him?
She should, because this is now a pattern, right? Because now you've got information from Russia. They wanted the dirt on Hillary Clinton and this.
Do you see how far we're moving, though, from what we know right now, which is still not very much? This is what I struggle with.
But we know the Mueller report.
This is what, and my personality does not fit with today's cable news environment and how it's so quick to rush to judgment. We don't have all the facts. And so I even struggle being on TV because I would say, take a breath. let's take a few days to figure out what is happening here, because there have already been reports the whistleblower didn't even have direct knowledge of the communication that was reported on. And so I say, you know what, if this is true,
it's true.
By the way, if it's true, the president will be impeached. This is direct
You think
collusion
so?
with the foreign government. There's no other way that it would not be.
You think Republicans would? He could do anything at
Guys,
all right
if
now
he's
for him to be impeached.
I hate even talking about this because we don't know if he was working with Ukraine to trade information. Yes, that would cause him to be impeached. I have no doubt in my mind. The other side of that is this is a totally blown up story when we have no facts. There's no gray area. It's a black or
we
white.
know a
And this is
couple
what we do
things.
every single day. And that would give Trump all the more ammunition, if this isn't even true, to say, see, this is what the media does.
Well, Abby, you and I were struggling with the same thing, but this is what I do know. We had Pamela Anderson on a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I took her to task about Julian Assange. And there's a lot of liberals who are okay with Julian Assange releasing Hillary's emails. Okay, he's a, quote, whistleblower. I called him a cyber terrorist. And now at the same time, those same people are screaming bloody murder about this situation right now, about this whistleblower. I think all interference from a foreign country in our election, all of it is bad and should be condemned. And you can't play party politics with this. And there's a lot of people on the left who are doing that
So
with
who
Julian
are you mad
Assange.
at here? Are you mad at the
I'm still
whistleblower?
speaking.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm mad that there are people on the left that think that Julian Assange is okay, that he's some kind of patriot whistleblower when he did interfere in our election. You can see all the
Wait,
emails that he
I'm on
released
the left. I
with
don't agree with that
WikiLeaks.
at all.
Well, there are many people. I was taken to task by many Bernie supporters who think it's okay, people who have difference of opinions. I believe you in particular, and I don't want to speak for you because I don't remember exactly, but I know that you and I diverged on that issue, and I think all of it has to be condemned all the way around, and I get frustrated when I do that because I think all interference from foreign adversaries in our country is dangerous and should be illegal.
Right.
But there's a lot of people on the left that are okay with Julian Assange, but aren't okay with this
But
whistleblower.
that's why the whistleblower is a hero in many ways, because he's protecting us from
But Julian
from
Assange
Trump and
released
the
Hillary
Ukraine.
Clinton's emails.
What?
Julian Assange and WikiLeaks released Hillary Clinton's emails, which I believe, and I think any person could believe, directly impacted the outcome of that presidential
Yes.
election.
People's lives in
Right.
danger.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
put people's lives in danger.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And our spies and many people in the military. So if you have a problem with this whistleblower or you think he's a hero, then you should have a problem with WikiLeaks as well at the same time.
I'm,
And I would
I'm
like
with
to
you.
have
I have a
deal with the
problem with
issue.
both. But,
Who
but
has a
the
problem
difference.
with the
Thank you
whistle-
so much.
But the difference, what I see as a difference, though,
Of
is I
course
think
there's
that
a
if we don't
difference.
talk about it, and I think that if there is not public pressure, they'd like for it to go away.
I don't
They'd
want
like
it to go away.
well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the administration, the people who are actually impacted by this, the people who send out Rudy
All
Giuliani.
Americans are impacted by
Okay,
this.
she's-
No, what I'm
talking
talking
now.
about the administration. I'm talking about sending Rudy Giuliani out to distract us. I'm talking about telling us yesterday that, I don't know, Stephen Miller is actually dating a human being, not an inflatable, to distract us.
I don't,
Yeah,
They do those
I
things.
don't know what that means.
But
I don't know what that means.
But it's an attempt at humor.
But the alternative is asking if Nancy Pelosi is going to impeach the president over this, and we don't even know what happened yet. And I'm like, this is insanity.
guess
Why
I
are we
don't
talking about
understand-
Nancy Pelosi
I don't
impeaching the
understand-
president?
There's way too much talk
I'm
about
confused
impeachment.
in the sense that
Kavanaugh,
you're saying, Megan, that people are against this whistleblower.
There's a lot of people who are okay with what Julian Assange did, who are not okay with what that are okay with what Julian Assange did and not okay with what this whistleblower did.
And who
Or
are
are
those
okay, I'm
people?
sorry.
Who-
There's a lot of people
why
who
do you
defend
say-
Julian Assange. There's a lot of people in this country. There's a lot of people on the hard left that defend Julian Assange.
Well, let's
All
say
right,
a lot
fine,
of
but
them.
And I
the
think
left
that
is
what she's
happy
saying is
that there's a whistleblower blowing the whistle on Trump. The left
On this
is
information.
happy about
What she's
that.
saying, though, is what Julian Assange did, in my mind, too,
In
is just
releasing
as
Hillary
dangerous
Clinton's
as
email.
what
Yes.
the president is
Yes.
being charged with doing, or people are assuming
Yes.
that he did. It's putting people's lives in danger. It's putting our national intelligence. It's throwing them completely
Yes.
under
The
the bus
president
for their
is
own
doing
benefit.
that.
Listen, I think
maybe
Julian
I
Assange is a traitor.
Excuse me, maybe I was clumsy in the way that I said
You know,
it.
I'm
But
2 feet
trying
away.
to
I don't
say
need you to
that
scream at me this way.
Abby was, I don't know what you just said, but
I said, don't scream at me. I'm 2 feet away.
I'll read it.
You know what?
Let me read it. Trump has denied doing
That's so
anything
rude,
improper.
Anna.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back.